Nelson College for Girls is a Decile 7 state school, urban. We've got a good wireless infrastructure, and 3 years ago we introduced BYOD to all levels. We decided not to start at year 9 and work our way up. We just went full bore, everybody.
Once you've gone through the page, what attracted me to giving iQualify a go was the fact that my class is very broad in the type of learner that I've got. And so I've got the girls who do need a lot of support to access the content, and I've got girls who can access it very, very easily and can go ahead and almost teach themselves. So the beauty of iQualify is that I could cater to that kind of learner. I can walk backwards with them and walk them through the content, or I could push girls forward and have them explore stuff before I was ready to approach it with them, so they could lead their own learning there.
Using iQualify with the students, I'd hoped that essentially they would get better grades and that they would be more on task and motivated in class and be more self-motivated learners.
We use iQualify in the classroom with say notes up on the board where we go through the content, and then the students, if they want, they can have the device in front of them as well, and they can be making notes as they go. The apps are quite good. There was a particularly good one on concentrations and acids and bases where they could mix different chemicals and see the effect on the pH. They can measure the pH in different ways, and so they found that quite engaging.
The activities that I thought stood out were the ones like the word questions and sort of ones that really got you thinking.
I liked how easy it was to use, and I got a lot of notes from it that worked really well for my revision.
I like how it's just easy to find stuff, and it's got everything and detail, and how you can put hashtags so you can find stuff easily, and I feel like it's just good studying resource.
We've used it as sort of exercises to work through after I've introduced something. I've used it for homework. I've particularly liked some of the animations, those sorts of things that you can't do with a whiteboard and a pen or even standing in front of the classroom. And the fact that students can then give feedback to each other and feedback to me. I can ask them questions and they can come back to me out of class time as well.
It makes it easier to talk to the teacher because they can see what you've done, comment back on stuff, and then give you feedback, and then in class you can look back on it together.
I thought the interactives were really cool, they were really fun, and I think it made learning a bit more entertaining, I guess, and more enjoyable.
As we were approaching exams, I used it largely as a revision tool, so I would set them sections that they weren't so strong at, and they would read through them, go to the end and do the revision activities. I've also used it kind of almost like a flip teaching model where I've said to them, and I did this with balancing equations, and I said, okay, I'm going to not teach you how to do this, I'm going to send you to this page in iQualify and I want you to work through these 4 activities, follow this animation, try this game out. And then I went round the girls who needed extra support. Some of them, by doing those steps, I found I didn't have to teach them balancing equations because they got it. And that really freed up my time to go and spend with those who didn't quite get it.
The content is already there, and all I need to do is direct them to the right bit or put an announcement or a pulse or whatever to get them going. Once you learn how to use it, which doesn't take very long, you can run with it quite quickly. It reduces planning.
It really helps me differentiate. So I can differentiate by sending them to sections on iQualify, trying activities. The pulse is great, so you can get instant feedback, and they like the idea that you're actually engaging with them online.
Yeah, the pulses are good, so when she's not here and she gives us them, and then we can just carry on with what we're doing.
You could see them commenting and giving you oh, you did good, or you could work on it a bit more, so that was quite helpful. And it didn't feel like you were just kind of working on a computer, you're working with your teacher and with your other classmates.
If they need to do some study, they don't spend the first 5 minutes finding their book and finding their thing, getting to the right page and working out what it was they're supposed to do. They click on it, they go straight to where they left off, and they carry on.
It's really accessible and it's really easy to use and manage, and I love how you can kind of go into your notes and sort of make points on what you need to work on and stuff.
They've really enjoyed it actually. I had one girl in my class who sits at the back of my class, and she was a bit of a late adopter of the whole thing, like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to use this, miss. And then as we were doing exam revision, she said to me, this is going to be great for exams, miss, and she was going through activities that we hadn't yet done. So the girls really enjoy it. They like the fact that there's instant answers there, so they don't have to go to the back of the book or wait for me to come around with the answers. They can press the button and it's there.
How it's like so immediate, and that there's heaps of like good information on it. So you don't have to wait till Monday to get answers from your teacher. You can get them like immediately.
I enjoyed the like, explanatory notes, which helped me like kind of like answer the like practice questions, and like putting that knowledge into practice in the practice questions like really helped me in the exams to like recall information.
It's made me a lot more aware of there are some girls who want a little bit more than pen and paper activities, and who really thrive in those different kinds of activities, and where a girl might take a while to learn balancing equations or writing formula pen and paper, give her something online, something a bit more engaging in a mode that she's used to learning in and enjoys learning in. That's been a big lesson for me. And as a teacher, it can be easy to just keep to the same old. You've already got your folders, you know, you're resourced, you're ready to go. But we need to be open to trying these new ways that engage learners much more than in the past.
I think it's a really exciting direction. We see it in the New Zealand learning context, and we often don't get that if we're using other platforms. All other platforms are American-based, European-based, and we do things slightly differently.
Initially, I thought iQualify was going to be a sort of a motorised textbook, and it wouldn't really do anything more than what you could do with a textbook. But I've found as I've become more familiar with it myself, and with the training we've been doing, that it's a lot more. And I think I've only started to tap into its potential.